Okay, so we have been working on improvement for Village Talk, which, as you know, is in our view a key component that I know would like more villages to use. I wanted to thank here Northwest Village Network, which is a village in Philadelphia that has been helping us improve Village Talk. So I think it's looking way better. So as it gets better and better, we hope more people will be using it. So let me show you what some of the changes we have done. The first thing we have done is that we have done interest groups catalog that your members can choose from. So you can have different interest groups. So here you see announcements, you see if you have a birders group, I think that's the picture for the book club. And this there is another COVID-19 village group. So basically your members could, or your admins can subscribe people to any of these interest groups. So basically now we make it much more comprehensible so that when people go in, they can see these pictures, they can see the discussion in this group, and they can join the groups that they want. So that's the first thing, is kind of making an interest groups catalog more appealing. When you enter any of these interest groups, we have made it much easier to manage. How do you interact with this group? You can, when you enter any of these interest groups, you can manage your notification. So basically you can be part of a group and then decide, okay, I want to receive a notification on the website. So there's this little red bubble that shows you kind of, a little signal if there is something new that has happened in the discussion group. There is another toggle that is about the notification via email. So you can decide for some groups or for all of the groups, if you want to receive an email the next day about activity that may have happened on that group. So that is kind of better management. You can also invite, if you know another member um, that may be interested in any of the interest groups, you can invite them through the website so that you have more people coming in. Now there is a possibility, there is another page where you can manage your subscriptions, basically. So basically subscription is, there are different interest groups. When do you want to be notified that there is something new on it, and you can be notified on it on the website or on the email. So that allows people, if they think that they're receiving too many emails and say, well, I don't want to receive emails about this topic, I'll read about it when I go to the website. So they can manage that. We added a link on the website so that people can manage their preferences and say, okay, I want to receive emails for these topics, but not email for these other topics. So that's something they can do from the email. We have also improved the topic field. So basically, when you're posting a message to the forum, we had a different way we were operating this. But basically, you're entering the topic of the discussion, and then the description was optional, but was kind of you needed to expand it. Now it's showing, so it's just easier to use. And I'll show a demo of this in a minute. When there is when you see a conversation on Village Talk, it is now possible to see the person's profile. So when you see a person wrote a post on it, you can click on their name, and that's going to show you their picture and also the bio. Remember, your members can set up a bio on their profile, so this can be visible to your Village Talk participants. You can also, check on the Village topic and see all the Village topics of that. Another thing we added is that there is the possibility to add these pictures and also emojis to your messages to make it more more interesting. This is another request that that I believe is very important. We send an email, depending on the subscriptions you have to the interest groups, right? So if a member decided they wanted to receive emails about any of these topics, there is only one email per day that goes out at 6 a.m. with a notification. So even if you're subscribed to 20 different interest groups, we're not going to send you 20 emails because people would get overwhelmed and they wouldn't like too much interaction there. So we send an email per day at 6, but that email contains all the interactions that have happened on their interest groups. So that email goes out. The title of that email used to be something very boring, kind of you have unread notification that was not very appealing. So now we have much better title to that email, which is what happened. Basically, Cristina posted, I love to interact with others in the demo Village Talk, etc. So just the title makes it more appealing, helps you understand what happened on the platform. So Guadalupe Lisa commented, Guadalupe liked your post and stuff like that. So just the emails are more interesting. Actually, when you open those emails, now we have added the content of the post. So this is a conversation that goes on the website, right? But then what we're told also, and all villages know this, kind of some members, I mean, like going to the website, and some members, they never want to go log in onto the platform. But you still want them to be aware of the conversations that are going on the platform. So now, even if they don't log into the platform, they can receive in their emails basically the evolution of the conversation. So basically, this is what they would see in their emails. You know, Luisa commented on a post, and you can see what she wrote. I love to be more connected to my community, etc. So now people just can read more of the Village Talk activity from their email. What we were doing before, we're doing something like, hey, you have unread notifications, something happened on the website, go to the website, check out. Now you don't need to go to the website, you can read it from your email. Obviously, there is a button at the bottom of this email that takes you to the website, where you can, it's always more interesting to see the live information. There's another feature that I think is really interesting, is the following: that we just received the email that I showed you before, but now your people can reply to that email from their email service. So they don't even need to go to the platform to post something. If they reply to the email and want to say something about that conversation, they can also do it replying to the email we just sent them. And that will add that comment to the website, right? So again, for people that are not very comfortable, or they don't log into your website, they can now be part of the Village Talk conversations from their email clients. So this is an example. This is what Christina did, right? So she received an email with a kind of the post that she saw before, and then she wrote an email: great improvement, it is easy to answer. She sent that email, and then basically this is how it shows now on the website. Okay, that's it. And then now I'm gonna show you basically live how this looks like. So basically, this is our demo website. If you go to Village Talk, it looks like this, right? So basically shows you the Village Talk where there's some conversation. There is an interest groups catalog, so I can go in here to see what are the different discussion groups. Before I do that, I'm gonna scroll down, because if you scroll down, I can see all the conversations and activity that has been happening in all my groups. So basically, I see here that Christina posted in one of the groups I'm subscribed to, which is Healthy Aging, and she wrote, now I do an hour of exercise every day. I would also want to receive some tips about nutrition, and I like this comment, so I can say, okay, I like this comment. Then she has posted into this other group, which is general. These other conversations going on, the technology updates, etc. So it's basically all the posts and conversations that have been happening on the Village are here. I have also the possibility to filter this group and say, okay, if I only want to see the post of the book club, because that's what I'm interested in at this point, I can click on that one. It's going to show me only the list of activities and discussions that are happening in the book club, right? So it's a way to organize your posts and discussions. Now let me go back to Village Talk here, because I wanted to show you this new interest groups catalog. So basically, there's this very prominent button here. When you click on it, it's going to show to your members basically different interest groups that there are in the Village. So these are customizable, actually, so you can set up your own. There are a few that are standard. So for example, announcements is one particular group that is a little bit different, where basically it's the announcements from the Village to the members, where basically the members cannot create new posts. So this basically kind of similar to what we do with announcements in Slack for Helpful Villages. Like, we don't want to have a ton of conversation going on there, but people where basically the Village writes announcing things to the membership base. But then these other groups are customizable. In this demo site, Christina created a group for birders, people that are interested in watching birds, the book club, COVID-19. There's a general discussion group, there's Healthy Aging. You can create your own, and obviously you can set up the pictures for any of these groups. And then for any of these groups, when I'm visiting the the catalog, basically I can do two things. I can either join the groups, because saying, okay, I like this group. Actually, this one is women's coffee, so I'm not gonna join it. But the thing that I can do here is that I can also preview the group. So basically, before I join it, I can also click on it, and if you use that button, it's gonna show me the discussion that is going on here, even though I'm not a member of the group. So if I'm not a member of the group, I will not receive the notifications, I will not receive the emails, etc. But I can look at it and say, well, it is kind of conversation interesting to me. If it is, then I can decide to join the group. So you can have a look first and then join only if it's interesting. Let me go back to another group. So if we go back to the catalog again, let's go to the birders group. Okay, so this is how this group looks. So this is the name of the group, this is the description of the book of the group. And then when I'm here, I can do different things. I can manage my notifications. I can say, okay, I want to be notified on the website, or I want to be notified on the via email. So you can manage these toggles. If you're not notified on the website, we're not even asking you if you want to be notified on the email. But if you can be notified on the email, but you don't want to receive the emails, you can do that. So the notifications that you can see here are here, right? So you can see these are the notifications on the website is here. Basically, every time there is something new happening, it's going to be a new number and a red label here next to your profile. When you click on it, you see what happens. So basically, Guadalupe commented on a post, Cristina commented on a post, etc. When I can click on any of this, so I want to know what Guadalupe is saying in that group. That's bringing me to that conversation where I see that she posted this message here. As I was saying before, if I was saying, wow, she said something really interesting here, but I want to know who this person is, you can also go back in here and click on their name. When you click on their name, you see a bigger picture, and you can see the bio of that person, you know, that the member can choose to add there. Okay. There is another functionality you can do from your notifications, is that here there's this little key. It's the same thing you can do from your email. If you want to manage your subscription, you can also come here to this page where basically saying for each group, you can manage all your notifications in one place. So basically here I can see that I want to be notified on the website and via email for the birders group. For the book club, same thing. I want to be notified on the website and via email. For COVID also, I want to do the same, but then healthy aging, yes, but then HV top innovators, like who's these HV guys? I don't want to receive their emails. Emails about that conversation, and I don't even want to receive notifications on the website. I want to be on the group. You know what? I don't even want to be on the group. So you can remove yourself from the group. You can do all that, interest groups management from this page. Let me see if I have. Well, that was a little crazy. I cannot do that right now. That's my email, but my email goes crazy with all the activity going on. So I wanted to show you kind of the post that people receive every day at 6 a.m., but I didn't prepare it. So I guess I'll stop there. Now for Village Talk. So a lot of these new improvements make it more interesting. I believe offering to your members the possibility to join discussion groups and interest groups is something that is super interesting. By the way, I'm going to show you also the fact that you can do people management groups. How can you set them up, right? Is you can go into the group categories, and if you go into interest groups, and then into interest groups, you can have the list that you just saw, right? You just saw, so the birders, book club, etc. But you can edit these groups. You can create new groups. If you wanted to edit this group, for example, you can come in here, more details about this group. And when you're in the details of this group, you can see who is in there. You can add new people to this group as an admin. You can also add to MailChimp. You can send MailChimp message to these interest group people. You can send mailing labels to those people. I wanted to show you basically that when you edit this group, you have the name, the description that you can manage, you can upload a picture, etc. So you can configure your interest groups. Anyways, I don't want to show you more features about it. It's something we're working on because, as I said before, I think it's a great value to your members so that they can be part of interest groups and that there can be online conversations. Now, at the same time, I would say that for villages that are interested in this, we would be happy to work with you and Cristina in particular to roll it out kind of step by step. So we would recommend that if one of your villages is interested, we set up a small group with 4 to 5 people so that there is a learning curve that we're happy to do with you. So, we are happy to have Christina or myself into that group. Start posting something in a test environment before you go out, because we definitely want you to understand and get the training necessary before you open it up your Village Talk to 200 members with 200 people receiving, emails and notifications, etc. So let's go. I think it's super interesting, but let's also go step by step. So let's create a small group, test it with our team. You get familiar with that, and then before we open it up to all your members. So we're excited about that. Christina, you had one question.
Yes. One point that Maricruz made from Petaluma is that people that have not login rights can also participate on Village Talk, replying through the emails. That's one point. The second one is that there are also moderation.
Yes, so those great points. So one thing is, yes, there is moderation features there. As I said before, it's one of the reasons we want you to go slow and kind of train in a small group first. I don't remember which group was it, but basically, if you have a message that came in here that has a problem because doesn't follow the policy of the village, obviously language would be one thing. Other things may be, topics. If you don't want to have people get too heated on politics discussions or something, you can, set up your rules. And if people don't follow the rules, the admins have the possibility to come in here and do two things. One is edit, but edit, obviously, you need to be careful with that. You can change the post. I would do this essentially, if there is a typo or something, maybe. But moderate is basically allows you to say, okay, I'm going to suspend this post for a little bit. There is basically here you can say, okay, wait, this one has some editing required. That basically you can contact the author saying, yeah, we're happy to post your message, but you need to realize that, by our policy, you cannot use these words or you cannot talk about these topics. If you change it, we can approve the post. So there is some moderation functionality that is in there. Chris, you had another second part of the question that I forgot, so you can tell me.
Yes, if people have not rights to log in, they can reply and participate in Village Talk through the emails.
Yeah.
Replying the emails.
Yeah, so it's a great question. Now, let me see. First thing is, when we first did Village Talk, we opened it up to members only. We're changing that because based on the feedback, and this is I remember Carol Cookson from Portland, Oregon, was one of them, is we're thinking about opening up Village Talk to more groups so that, first thing is volunteers. So we're working on that so that you can have basically groups that are for members, but then you can have a group for active volunteers. We can have even a group for people that are not active members or volunteers. Now, one thing we're working on here, I can show you here, is that there is a new checkbox here. When you go to the roles, remember you have admin, events manager. There is one new one that is Village Talk participant. So now you can manage authorizations about the people you want to participate in those. So for us, yeah, once a person and following, it depends for each group. There are some groups that will be member only, maybe another that is volunteer only, maybe there's another one that is general. We're kind of exploring those options. But basically, yeah, every person that ends up having the right to be part of one group, if they reply to the email and they are in that group, yeah, we will publish that post in there. Now, we always want to be, and the reason we are being very careful is obviously we just want to make sure that, we just want to make sure that the people that post in Village Talk are trustworthy, right? So that's why we open up, it's easier to open up to volunteers first because they are screened and, they're more well-known. And then if everything goes well, we can keep opening it up to more people, to some groups, stuff like that. So anyways, that's, we're going in that direction. Yes.
So my comment to Christina was that because we don't let members log in, for example, we could go in with our writing group, we could click that, give it all to them, and without them ever logging in, just post something, they get the email, reply to the email, and they're there.
Absolutely. Sorry, I think I misunderstood the question because there are two separate questions. One is it only for members? And it was. So we're opening it up to volunteers now, but slowly. But your question was not that. Your question was, if we have members that don't even have login information to the platform, that are unable to log in, as we call them, can they participate in Village Talk? The answer is yes, they can. So if you add them to the Village discussion groups and they receive the notification, they can reply to that email. They can read the email, what the conversation is about, and when they reply, their reply will be added to the website. Yes.
Great. That's awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Perfect. So yeah, we're excited about this one.